Today is Sunday, Parashat Noach. We're learning from the Hok Leisrael, the Hakakha Pesukah. דבר שאינו נאכל כמות שהוא חי, וגם עולה על שולחן מלכים ללפד בו את הפת, או לפרפרת. If a type of food that typically is not eaten raw, and also is important enough to go on a table of kings, to be eaten together with bread or as a side dish, שבשלו נוכרי, if he was cooked by a non-Jew, אפילו בכלי ישראל, even in a vessel that belongs to a Jewish person, which is a kosher vessel, ובבית ישראל, in the Jewish home, אסור משום בישולי נוכרים. It is forbidden to eat from that food because it's considered to be food cooked by a non-Jew that would be non-kosher. So again, the rule is it has to be something that is not eaten raw. So for instance, carrots, tomatoes, you can eat them raw or cooked. If a non-Jew cooked them, no problem. The vessel was kosher in the home of a Jewish person, is no problem. Also, it has to be a food that typically would be okay to put on the table of kings. If there was a food that it was not important enough or not considered to be something that a king would eat, and a non-Jew cooked it, then there is no problem. You could still eat from that food. But if it was something that typically would not be eaten raw and can be found on a table of kings, and a non-Jew cooked it, even if the vessel was kosher in the home of a Jew, that food we're not allowed to partake from it. And here there is a difference of opinion between Ashkenazim and Sephardim, what is considered to be cooked by a Jew. For Ashkenazim, it's enough that the Jewish person turn on the flame, he turns on the fire, and then the non-Jew can put the pot on there, he can put one pot after the other, and that's how in many restaurants that have Hakakha, that go according to the Ashkenazi standard, it's enough for the Jew to turn on the fire in the beginning of the day. The Sephardim have a somewhat stricter halakha. It's not enough for the Jewish person to turn on the flame. That would not be sufficient. What has to happen is the Jew has to take the pot and put it on the fire. By him putting the pot on the fire, that's what's considered to be cooking by a Jew. If the Goy put the pot on the fire, even if the Jew turned on the flame, that would not be permissible according to the Sephardic custom and halakha. In other words, the halakha for us as Sephardim, the Jew must put the pot on the fire for it to be considered cooked by a Jew. ביצה, אף על פי שראויה לגומה חיה, אם בשלה נוכרי אסורה. An egg, even though it is possible to eat a raw egg, there are some people that eat raw eggs, still it's considered to be, if a goy cooked it, it's considered to be בישולי נוכרים and not permitted to eat. כלים שבישל בהם הנוכרי לפנינו, דברים שיש בהם משום בישולי נוכרי צריכים הכשר. If a vessel was used by a goy to cook food that will require a Jew to be involved in the cooking for it to be kosher, let's say a goy prepared a meal for himself to eat, and he prepared using a vessel of a Jewish person, that vessel becomes not kosher and need to be purged through Agala, through being kosherized, because since the Jew owned that vessel, since that vessel that was kosher was used by a non-Jew to prepare food that would be non-permissible for a Jew to eat from, that vessel would have absorbed some of that non-kosher food, and then it needs to be purged to the way to kosherize a vessel. אם הוא כלי חרס, מגעילו 3 פעמים ודיו, מפני שאין איסור זה עיקר מדאורייתא. If it's an earthenware vessel, an earthenware vessel typically we cannot kosherize, like a porcelain and that type of thing. But in this case, if it was cooked in an earthenware vessel, you can kosherize it by putting it in boiling water 3 times. ין תפוחים ויין רימונים כיוצא בהם, מותר לשתות בכל מקום, והדבר שאינו מצוי לא גזרו עליו. If there was apple wine or apple cider and pomegranate wine, this is not wine made from grapes, and things that are like them, can be drunk in any place. We're not strict with that. Like wine should be done by a Jew. If wine was prepared by a non-Jew, then it's not kosher. But wine that's made from apple or pomegranates, it's a type of cider, a type of fruit juice, that's not a problem. You can drink from that apple cider or that drink made from pomegranate by a non-Jew. Chalav shechalavo goy ve'en Yisrael asur. Milk that was milked by a non-Jew, without a Jew watching him, is forbidden. It's not considered to be Chalav Yisrael. And today there is some permissibility to drink the milk that is not Chalav Yisrael, but the strict halakha, the milk as it's milk should be supervised by a Jew, and then it has the title of Chalav Yisrael, and the halakha here is strict to that aspect, to be considered something that is asur, and we prefer, of course, and today there is Chalav Yisrael available in all the markets, in the kosher neighborhoods for sure. There is an opinion that if Chalav Yisrael is not found in the US, we can rely on the fact that it is milk from a cow and not from somewhere else, from another animal that would not be kosher, and there is a way to permit it, but of course the preferred ways, according to the strict halakha, is to go only by Chalav Yisrael, and the Hakakha organizations in town, when they give hechsher for dairy, it's usually for Chalav Yisrael. And the labels would say that, Chalav Yisrael. Gvinot anochri asarua. Cheeses that were made by non-Jews are not permitted. Because they curdle them in the stomach skin of an animal that they have slaughtered, which is not kosher. Even if they curdle it with vegetable matter, it's still forbidden. So cheeses must be under Hakakha. It must be certified kosher. A person should not think, it's only cheese, it's made from milk, and therefore doesn't need to be certified. No. Cheeses must be certified in order to be consumed. In the cheeses, there are two categories, a certified kosher and a certified kosher Chalav Yisrael. The preferred way is to go Chalav Yisrael, that's the strict halakha. But in general, if it doesn't have any hechsher on it, then it's definitely asur according to all opinions, because with cheeses, the way they curdle them, they use the skin of a stomach, they use the rennet, and even if it was not put in rennet from the animal, but rather with vegetable matter, still we do not consume cheese that does not have a kosher certification on it. This was the halakha for today from Hok Leisrael for Parashat Noach for Sunday. Baruch Adonai le'olam, amen ve'amen.